Okay, welcome back to Viking or Rogaland. This film I have made after considering a lot of costs in the Philippines, and this is something that always is coming up in comments, especially in YouTube, when people who live in, for example, United States or in Europe, they plan to come and settle in the Philippines, basically retire in the Philippines. So I have been living for quite a long time here in the Philippines, more than 4 years at least. I've been actually maybe 5 years. I've been living in total in the Philippines, but now I've been living more or less non-stop for 3.5 years. So when I came here, I had a very small budget, around 700 US dollars. And I just came here, with a with a suitcase, and yeah, that's it. And I met my girlfriend, my partner, and I was really, really quite broke. You come here. She didn't have anything. I didn't have anything, and we managed to rent a room in her sister's house in a village. But there is no transportation there, no bus. I mean, it's really in the middle of nowhere. So for the first, I would say, first 1 year and a half at this time, I was staying in a very poor condition. Maybe 2 years, I was staying in very, very simple, poor condition. So it's possible. It is not recommendable, of course, but you can live in the Philippines with $500, whatever. But when Filipino or whoever consider this, they don't consider that I am a guy who needs aircon, for example, and I need to drink a lot to cool down. Because I am like a polar bear, I'm a Viking. I come from the far north where it's very cold. So that is something. And then when you are a foreigner, you always constantly have to go and renew your visa. And where I stayed, it was far away. It would take basically almost one day just to get to Davao City for the visa renewal. And then I would be too exhausted to go back to the village, so I would stay in the hotel, and I would be so happy to stay in a hotel that I would just stay there maybe a couple of days, and that is like 1,000, 1,200 peso per night in a good hotel in Davao City. Anyway, let's this will just be the introduction, uh, about the cost of living in the Philippines. But living here in the Philippines, as I say, as a foreigner, you cannot just live in a dirty room with a lot of cockroaches and mosquitoes and expect to survive. No? The Filipinos are adapted for the climate and the environment in the Philippines. While so if of course if you come to Norway, you're gonna freeze to death if you don't buy a lot of good warm clothes, and if you don't have a lot of firewood to heat your house, you're gonna die of cold. That is just how it is. So, but anyway, and you would probably need more heat than me because you are from the Philippines. So your body is adapted to a totally different climate. So when you consider all these extra expenses that comes with being a foreigner, you have no, usually if you come here, you have no relatives, you have no friends. If you have friends, maybe they will be Filipinos, and maybe they will ask you for money. If you come here, it's a good chance that you will meet some girl, and the girl will take care of you, but she will also charge for her time, which is normal. Everybody needs to make a living these days. So you're basically coming to a foreign country, you don't know anything, you have to spend a lot of time and energy and money just to get settled. So let's see if you find a place where you want to go. You come here, maybe you stay in a hotel, but you cannot stay in the hotel forever. and then you try to find a place to rent. When I was here in Davao for the first time in June 2016, I came here and I didn't know anybody, and I was supposed to meet somebody, a girl I chatted with, but she never showed up. So I was basically alone when I came to Davao City. And the hotels, okay, they are not good. At the time, I was renting a condo in Thailand, fully furnished condo owned by a Norwegian owner. Very nice, good bed, hot shower, aircon, big ref, freezer, TV, stereo, balcony, fully furnished. Even towels and everything for cooking was there, sofas, yeah, you name it, and a nice swimming pool outside. And I paid 1,000 Norwegian kroner, which is today like 5,300 pesos per month. So you can imagine when I came to Davao and they showed me some rental in the slum area, close to San Pedro, but still in the slum area. They wanted 6,000 pesos for some first floor part of a house. There was absolutely nothing there. There were no doors, no bed, nothing, nothing, nothing. So I really had to think hard about the Philippines, and I don't want to stay here if it's gonna be like that. So that is, of course, if you come to Manila or Cebu, which I stayed in a couple of years at least in Cebu, then it's maybe a little bit easier to find rentals, but still you have to go around, and the big thing is that things are not usually not furnished. So if you come here, you must expect to spend quite a lot of money for your first time. Okay, so just so you know it, you cannot just if you come here like me did now last. I came here in to settle with my girlfriend. I came here with a very low budget, and I didn't have extra money to spend. Okay, so what we have been doing, excuse me for this one, but it's getting very hot here. I can put on the fan, but it's gonna be very noisy. Um, I have the aircon running from the bedroom because I have an aircon here. Anyway, you come here, and you can, of course, like me, you are stranded because of circumstances that you cannot control. Huh? I suddenly found myself in a very hard, on a very low budget, very hard time because I am being abused by some people back in Norway. That is why I have and had a terrible budget for several years. I'm a retired person, young retired person, and usually I should have like $1,500 per month, $1,600 per month. That is my actual pension, but because of things that is happening back in Norway, where they don't respect me and don't allow me to live my life, I, I have been living on very low budget indeed. And you must also consider, like I said, the visa cost for visa renewal, and visa runs, etc. And many times when you come to this kind of culture, you will also maybe will have problems with your health, like diarrhea and fever, infections more easy than when you are back home in a clean and maybe cooler environment. So living in the Philippines, settling in the Philippines, is gonna cost you quite a lot. That is why, like everybody I see give advice, I will give advice also. You come here and you stay maybe 1 month, 2 months. Okay, you can do that 1 month or 2 months. And of course, many people when they stay here only 1 or 2 months, they feel like kings, like superstars, because many places here you attract the attention of both men and women, and Filipinos are very welcoming and very friendly. They want to talk to you. It's an amazing place, but you must realize that this is a developing country. Okay, so you need to be aware. If you want to move over here, it's gonna be a very different story And then if you, for example, came to Norway, in Norway you can get for free almost anything. Really. You can get a nice bed for free, nice sofa for free, ref, fridge, washing machine, uh, furniture, bicycles, boats. I mean, you can get almost anything, almost for free or really for free, really for free. And to buy an old car, it will cost you maybe 1 week's work, 1 week's salary, and you already have a car that can take you from A to B in Norway. While here, people ask me here, oh, why don't you have a car? Because I have a motorcycle, a small motorcycle. And I say, yeah, if I could afford it. And they are looking like me like I'm a liar. Like, of course you are Americano. Well, I'm not Americano, but anyway, you are a white foreigner, so of course you can afford to have a car. That is the perception they have of us. So anyway, this was just an introduction because I just want to introduce you to prepare what it's gonna cost to live in the Philippines. Okay, so this is end of part one. See you in part two.